In this video, we are going to be fitting the swept back race intercooler kit from Plazmaman in Australia to the Evo 5. Okay, so trying to keep this as short and sweet as possible. This video, I started recording it about 5 months ago, and I made the decision that I wanted a new intercooler for the car to support higher power, and I wasn't convinced that the Toyo Sport intercooler that was on the car was even up to the task of the power that the car's got, so I thought it might be stifling it. So I thought I want to change that, and I made some poor choices. It's the best way to put it, with the choices that I made.
I've made a huge mistake.
So the car's been out of action for 5 months now, which is rubbish. But I ended up, various things happened, I ended up buying from Plazmaman in Australia their race intercooler set for the car. And it's one of the only companies still that I found, as in still now, making an intercooler kit for the Evo 4 to 6. So it was a logical choice of what to get, and added to that the fact that it comes with a hard piping kit, and added to that the fact that it's rated for 900 plus horsepower and it runs in time attack and things like that. I kind of thought it was a safe bet to get. So it's arrived now after ordering it in January. We're now at the end of April and it's turned up. So first thing to do is to get it out of the box, have a look what we've got, and then we can kind of look at getting it on the car. Okay, so we're all unboxed now, didn't take long. So this is the hard pipe kit. So this is the pipe that's going to go to the inlet manifold, and then these are the pipes that are going. This is the front left right side that goes to the turbo, and then this is the connecting pipe that connects onto this one on that side. Yeah, I think that's right. So we've got all that, which is all nice and good, really lightweight aluminium stuff. Then we've got all the silicone hoses, we've got all the clamps, we've got the turbo mounting, what you call it, elbow thing. Don't know, you can see it there on the car, that thing there, it's one of them. So we've got that as well, and we've got all the bolts and nuts and what have you. But the quality, I've got to say, of this, I mean, I know Plazmaman stuff is good, but the ETS intercooler that I bought for the car previously, which obviously I've got rid of because it wasn't right, in terms of I couldn't be bothered making it fit. That was really good quality, like really good quality, but weighed a ton. This Plazmaman core, the quality is phenomenal, like phenomenal. I mean, have a look. You've got the nice little plaque on there as well, which is nice. But if you kind of look at the welds and look at the face itself and what have you, and the finish, looks absolutely fantastic. So I'm really pleased with that so far. So first thing we're going to do is, even though you've seen that the car has no bumper and has no intercooler and no radiator, this is obviously from the video that I made months and months and months ago. So I'm going to play the video of me removing the bumper and the stock intercooler now, so we can get to that point, and then we will start fitting this up to the car and then seeing how we get on with it. Okay, so that's the old intercooler off, and I've obviously taken the pipework off after that video and removed the radiator because the coil radiator that's on the floor there needs to go on the car. So I've done that separately. So the first thing we need to do now is we need to put on the turbo elbow. I'm not sure what the technical term for it is, but this pipe here, this is the fiddliest thing to do. So we need to mount this onto the bottom of the turbo here. So that's going to mount onto here, and there's not a lot of clearance. It's very kind of tight to get to with tools, but that is the first thing we need to do, and then we can get the core on, kind of get that sitting right, and then we can hopefully just build all the pipe work up around it and go from there. There is some other stuff I have to do, but I'll explain that when we get a bit further along. So there you go, that is the core mounted up, very, very straightforward. You can mount it two ways. You can mount it lower or higher. So you've got, what, 1.5 centimetres, 2 centimetres maybe to play with if you need it. I've done a test fit already on my car, just once bitten, twice shy, because this video was going to be very different than it's turned out to be. So I've test fitted it, and with the pipe work and with the bumper, for me, the lower setting seemed to be the best option. So maybe some people need a higher setting with stock bumper, I'm not sure, but anyway, the lower setting worked for me. So now I've done that, the next thing we need to do is work on the pipe work. So we've got the cold side, which is the inlet side, and we've got the hot side, which is the turbo side. I can't do the hot side yet because it comes with a 45 degree 60 to 63 mil reducer hose, and when I fitted it up, it might just be how I was fitting it up, to be honest, but when I fitted it up, that 45 degree hose seemed to be under a little bit of tension. That is this hose here. It seems to be under a bit of tension and seems to be sort of pulling away a little bit from the turbo connector. So I've ordered from Do88 a length, a 60 to 63 mil 25 degree reducer, in the hope that that angle is slightly more forgiving and nicer. So I've got to wait for that to arrive. But on the cold side, pipe work and everything absolutely brilliant, all kind of bolted up perfectly. Could have just fitted it up, but my car has an inline air temp sensor in that pipe. So I'm going to have to drill a hole in my nice shiny new pipe, which is here on the floor. I've already marked up where it needs to go. There, you can see it. So I need to drill that hole, and then I can mount up my little sensor bracket here that I have liberated from my old pipe work from the Toyo Sport intercooler, and then I am going to braze that into place because I can't weld, as we have discovered in previous videos. So I'm going to braze that into place. So that is the first job I'm going to do. Once that is all done and set and sorted, then we can get the cold side all fitted up and then wait for the bits to arrive for the hot side, and then hopefully that is intercooler done. Okay, so that's our little mount for the sensor, brazed into place, and I've kind of checked it and cleaned it. Bit messy on one side there, but it's a curved surface, so it's quite difficult to do much with. I'm going to wrap this pipe in a gold kind of heat reflective tape anyway, so you're not going to be able to see that. So the next job now is going to be to start mounting up the pipe work from the cold side and then go from there. Okay, so that is the cold side fitted up, done and dusted pipework. It is a bit tight on the clutch cylinder down there, and it is a bit tight on one of the plugs underneath there on the gearbox. That might be the kind of speedo sensor, I'm not sure. But it's on anyway. The reason why I've not really videoed it so much, me fitting it, and it didn't kind of look so good, is because it's fiddly to do and it's very time consuming. So it's taken me at least a few hours just to get this cold side done, because you've got to get the silicon sat right, then you've got to get and that means like rotated right for the logo if you want to do that, like I do. And then you've got to get obviously the band clamps sat right so they all line up. You've got to get the metal pipe work far enough in but not too far in to the silicon on both ends, and kind of jig things around. So that's why I've not really videoed it so much. So the last thing we need to do is just need to tighten up the band clamps. So I will video that bit and then we will crack on with the hot side. So the last piece of the puzzle with the intercooler is this silicon hose that's going to go between the pipe to the intercooler there and the turbo, whatever pipe that is, the pipe that comes off the turbo. So the guys at Plazmaman include in the kit this reducer hose, which is 45 degrees. And when I fitted that up, it kind of didn't... Maybe I was just angling it wrong. Probably it was me angling it wrong, I would imagine. But it just didn't sort of seem, it felt like the angle was too severe. So it was kind of pulling away from the metal at each side, if that makes sense. So I got myself from the dudes at Do88 who make the best hoses ever and all kinds of other cooling products. Sadly, nothing for the Evo. I bought the same reducer hose, but in 25 degree or 20 degree reduction angle, sorry. So you can see the difference probably there. And I think that that angle is much less severe and that should make for a better fit. So that's probably just me, but I just thought I'd point out that I've done that. So I just need to trim that hose down a little bit more and then we can get that on. And that is it, we are done. And just like that, just like that, sound like Tommy Cooper, if anyone remembers who he was, we are done. And it's not just like that, because obviously this job has put the car off the road for 8 months, is it? Something crazy like that, because I bought the wrong intercooler, but have rectified that now. So all the band clamps are tightened and checked, and I've made sure that there's clearance everywhere as best I can. Yeah, so we are done for this job. You can kind of see there everything, and there's our little sensor plumbed in and pipe work going around there, looking all okay. Onto the core, our core and our pipes here all looking all right. And then yeah, that pipe there that I've replaced with the Do88 one. I'm still not that happy with it, but I think it's about as good as it can be. You kind of see underneath there with the bumper on. It should be a decent clearance, I hope. So yeah, that's it. Next job is get the radiator installed and finished, and then we can hopefully get the car started and then go from there. The fun never ends. So thank you for watching.